Good morning, Professor Vandayaka, our chief guest, Professor Surangi, Dr. Dizanayaka, and ladies and gentlemen. Professor Ajanta, of course, yes, my good friend. So, today, I must first of all congratulate all of you for the opportunity I've got to follow this diploma. Now, before I talk anything else, I want you to look around you and observe three things. Three things, not three persons, three things, whatever that you can take into your mind. Please take a few moments, look around you, and note three things that you can see. Who can just give me to anything that you see here? It can be anything.
Mike and the
Which one?
power.
Which one?
Mike,
Mine. Yes.
flower one, flower.
Oh, yes.
One bottle.
Wonderful. Some other things, some other ideas. That's great. Forget about three. Tell me one thing that you can see.
The screen.
Screen, yes.
And the camera.
Camera, that's great.
And the laptop.
Laptop, three things. Okay, I just wonder what, but you're giving me three. Did you ever realize that all what you see here, everything what you see here, have originated in somebody's mind as a thought? Take a chair, take that camera, take the screen. Somebody thought about it and made it. Isn't it? Take the spectacles, whatever, wristwatch, tables, chairs, this building. I want you to learn the art of turning these thoughts into realities. It's art. Definitely, it's an art. And you need to do it. And you didn't know it because such a simple thing that we forget sometimes. Now, if you take this entire building, and somebody thought of this building, and see how detailed they have gone into the ceiling, the lights, those the bars on the windows, and the floor tiles. All those details they have gone in, which means it's very clearly they have thought of the details. Take a chair. It's all defined. What will be the cushion? What is going to be the material that is made of this? Take a table. All that is precisely visualized and then turned into the reality. So most important thing is to have a clear vision or clear idea, clear thought of what you really want to make into reality. Got it? Agree? Don't agree? Or anyone who is not agreeing? Or are you? If you are agreeing, raise your hands. Yes, I'm happy that you agree. Yes, that's right. But all the ideas don't become real. Why? Any guesses? Any guesses? These are all common sense. I'm talking about common sense, but we don't pay attention to. There must be something, some difference between the two ideas. Okay, let me tell you what it is. That's the desire that you have in your mind. How much you want it. It's not just a wish. I would like to have that. No, that's a wish. But what I'm talking to you is a different thing. Somebody really want to have it. It's called, I can call it a desire, a deep desire or a burning desire. If you really don't want something, you'll start working on it. The person who did this building really wanted it. He was not prepared to sacrifice halfway, so went into detail, got the building up, got the finances, and did everything. So similarly, it's very important that we we have a desire to make anything real, make any achievement possible. Not only a thing, it can be achievement. In my life, I can tell you, if I have time till evening, I can tell you stories of how such desires made me go forward. Let me tell you that one thing that made me into an engineer was the deep desire I had to uplift the lives of others through technology. That was all what I wanted. I was prepared to sacrifice anything for that. And even I sacrificed my little monthly income at that time. I'm talking to you about 1970s, mid-1970s, around 1975, very much before you all were born. The things I sacrificed to get into the engineering field because I wanted it. I wanted to study, and end of the day, today I became an engineer. Similarly, another little incident. When I was working everywhere, I felt that I don't have the freedom. So I was looking for freedom, which I didn't have most of the time. Because I'm a freedom lover anyway. I don't like to be controlled by anyone. I just want to think on my own, do things on my own, make mistakes. It doesn't matter. Make mistakes, try new things. To do all that, it was not easy at every place I worked. So I was dreaming of leading a free life. I was dreaming of creating something where everyone else can lead a similar life, where everyone else is free to think, free to experiment, free to make mistakes, and nobody is blamed for that. And for that freedom, I was prepared to sacrifice anything in my life. The time I took the decision to get out from my employment and start from nothing, my income was very high as an employee, as an engineer. I was getting, probably I would have been one of the highest paid engineers in this country. Money was no problem. Money was in abundance. I had so much of big salary, big income every month, but something was missing. That's the happiness. But that I decided to leave everything, sacrifice everything, and then get out and then try things on my own. It took me a lot of time even to come up to the income I used to have. It took many years for me to come up with the same level of income I had when I was working. But then I was enjoying my work. Every moment I lived, I managed to enjoy. And everybody who worked with us had the same freedom. They could use their own brain, they could make mistakes. So what else? In life, I always believe that you need happiness. So it was again going after the desire for achievement. So you need two things. I spoke about two things. One is about what? Yeah, tell me. You can make mistakes. A clear idea. A clear idea of what you want to achieve. The other thing, the clear idea or a clear vision alone is not going to work. What's the other thing? The desire. Now these two you have to memorize. Just a vision, just a sort of idea is not going to work. You need to really want it. Go after it. Sacrifice anything to get it. Then you are sure to go there. Now these two things, never forget in your life. Today is an important day that you're starting your diploma, and keep this in mind what you want, whether you really want it, whether you're prepared to sacrifice anything to go there. Okay, I'll tell you some more stories, and rest of the things we will discuss. Now today, that you are learning a little art of achieving the things that you want to achieve. The first two things I already mentioned. The next things to understand, I'll share a couple of stories. Then you try to find out how those things happen. Have you heard of a series called Harry Potter? Books and videos? Who have not heard of Harry Potter? Who have heard of Harry Potter? Come on. Right. Who is the one who created Harry Potter? J.K. Rowling. That's right, yes. She was a single mother living on a government allowance, and she started writing. When she wrote the first book, she took it to many publishers with high hopes that people will accept. Everywhere she went, they said, I'm not interested. Every publisher rejected. She kept on visiting various places, and finally one publisher accepted, and you can see what happened from that point on. Let's take another story. Now I want you to analyze why she became so successful. I'll tell you another story. You all know Apple phones, not the eating apple, the Apple phones. And Steve Jobs. The moment you say Apple, you also think of Steve Jobs, the creator. When Steve Jobs created Apple, he made it into a big company, and after some time, until he goes to the board meeting, he doesn't know that he was sacked. So all of a sudden, he was asked to step down and get out. But he didn't get discouraged. He went out. He was going after his own vision, making the high-tech phones, computers, not phones at that time, it was computers, accessible to everybody. He was going after that, and he started two more companies, the Next and Pixel. And what happened? After some time, the Apple stocks went down, and then what Steve Jobs invented, what Steve Jobs started in his two companies was essential for Apple to go to the next step. So it was taken back. How are these things happening? Why is it happening? When I went to serve the Indian market way back about 20-25 years ago, people laughed. When I was exhibiting in India, people laughed. One of my friends came and said, "You're wasting your time. What are you trying to sell here? We have thousands of people like you making these things." And that's what I heard at the exhibitions. And one of my another friend said, "Nobody is going to come to Sri Lanka to buy your stuff and take it to India." And what I did, I accepted what he said. No one is going to come to Sri Lanka, so let me have my office there. So I went and then started my office again. For 2 years, not a single order. For 2 years, I was investing in the office, the engineers, the staff, and trying to market. Not a single order for 2 years. And my finance, the head of finance thought I have gone crazy. The man is spending so much of money there with no return, but there was some reason. I'm trying to get you to tell the reason, so I'm not going to say how it is. But then finally we break through, and then you saw some other projects that we did there. Huge projects. Now let's see, can I ask from you, what is the success behind all this? Again, I'll tell another story for you to think of it. Sometime back, about 30 years ago when I started, we were doing well, and all of a sudden there was a time that we were not having adequate orders. So that pushed me on to get onto the outside market, the export market. For about 6 months we suffered without orders, and finally we got into the export market and then solved the problem. Now, what's the difference? There are 3 things that was really needed there. Number 1 is the belief in you, the confidence. Without confidence, you can't do anything. So you need to believe in the power that you have within you, the confidence. We think that we can't do. We don't know that we have enormous power. We have the power to do anything we want. But without the belief, without believing in you, it's not going to be possible. The next one is not giving up. If you give up, you can't continue. You can say, I told you, I was there for 2 years without a single order. If I moved out at that time, I would not have got all the other markets which we got thereafter. J.K. Rowling, when she was going from publisher to publisher, if she gave up, the Harry Potter series wouldn't have been there today. Maybe for months or years, she tried going after people. Similarly, number 2, one is persistence. The other one, of course, I've already told you, the desire, also confidence and the desire and the clear vision. Now, Steve Jobs was going after a vision of giving technology to every person, accessible to every person. Although he was put out of the job, he never sacrificed his dream. He persuaded the same dream. The work is different, the job is different, the company is different. But then he continued. The result, whatever he produced after leaving Apple, was definitely wanted by Apple for them to go forward. So this is extremely important. We spoke of a few things now. I want you to again go back and think about it, because I don't want you to forget after going out of this hall or after this event is over. These are all essential things for success. Number 1 is a clear idea. Number 2, desire. You also need belief in you, the belief that you have about you. And then the character of not giving up. Keep in mind, every obstacle that you come across in your life, there is an opportunity for you to grab to go to the next step. Now, Steve Jobs lost the job that took him to the next stage. I was deprived of my freedom. It pushed me onto a different path. So whenever you have come across problems, don't try to just run away. It will be difficult, but don't give up. Don't give up. I never had the idea of giving up. For some reason, I don't know. People would have thought that I'm so adamant. I don't know, arrogant or whatever you call it. But then I was not prepared to give up. Even my marriage, much more than 40 years ago, it was a proposal. And when I went to see my wife, for me, it was like love at first sight. I wanted her, and I was in love. But then she's a very choosy person, even up to now today, very choosy. And then she was analyzing what this guy is going to have. So she has told the father, ask this guy what he's having. At that time I was only an engineer. And he asked Lalith, you must be having a lot of money saved by now. I said, Uncle, I have a very small salary. I don't have money saved. Whatever I earn, I spend. Honestly, I have not saved anything. This was in 1981. Then we had a little chat again. Then he asked, if you don't have money, your parents have wealth, a lot of wealth. So what are you going to inherit? I said, I'm the eldest with 2 sisters, 2 brothers. I have very clearly told my parents I don't want anything. Please give it to the 2 sisters and 2 brothers. I'm not going to take any of your properties. I will come up on my own. And that's what I want to do, I said. So I told that to my father-in-law. He was thinking for a while, and he says, this guy, he doesn't have savings, he doesn't have money, and also he is now not going to get anything from the family. He waited a little while. So that day I went in a scooter. It was a Bajaj scooter. He looked at me like in a puzzle and asked, do you mean to say that if you're not going to have a house, if you're not going to have any properties, if you don't have money, do you mean to say that this bike, you only have this bike? I said, Uncle, that's not my bike. It belongs to the company I work. You see? So my wife listened to all that and said, well, after I left, she said, now you ask now what type of person he is. And that's the attitude she had towards me. But I was not prepared to give up. I kept on talking, and then within 3 months, we were married. Now, don't ask me how I did it, but that's again persistence, right? It didn't take more than 3 months. We both fell head over heel in love with each other, even today, after close to 43, 44 years, we still want each other so much. And that's the power of not giving up. Please don't give up. In whatever you do, if you really want it, go for it. Just go after it, you're going to be successful. Now I want you to do a little exercise to check whether what I told you will work for you. Think about the biggest challenge you have now. Just think. If you want, you can start with small challenges, or you can even start with the biggest challenge. Now, I told you every challenge is going to have a seed of success hidden. You take pearls. If you take a muscle, the pearl is hidden there. You can't see. It's hidden. It's so small, but it is there. You need to find it. So similarly, every failure in my life, whenever I failed miserably, there was something. There was time that when I was in India, and when I came back one day, disaster. The factory was sealed by somebody had put some claim against us, and then that pushed us into innovations. So of course we managed to get it cleared within a day or two, but then that pushed us into various innovations and inventions and patents so that nobody can play with us. So every adversity, look for it, and think about the problems we have, challenges we have, and find out, okay, what is the seed of success hidden here? I need to dig it in, and then go to the next level. And that's the exercise that I'm going to tell you. Do it today. Because never forget that every little challenge you have brings with it the seed of equivalent or better success. And I wish you the very best today to get this wisdom. Go ahead and achieve everything you want. Good luck.